Hi everyone, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am super excited to be here with you today to go over a very fabulous stroller that you see sitting behind me. That is the Defy R1. So we are super excited to go over this with you, our viewing audience. But if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Then when we put up new videos comparing this stroller to other strollers that are meaningful in its own class and category, you will be the first to know, so it's very exciting. We appreciate every view, every viewer. If it makes sense to share this video, go ahead and share it with anybody you like. Sharing is caring. And the other thing that I would invite you to do is head over to my website, DestinationBabykids.com. I am a real brick and mortar store owner here in the San Francisco Greater Bay Area. Everything pretty much that I show, I am pretty knowledgeable about. I sell almost all of it. So if you want to see other colors, other styles, accessories, that type of thing, head over to my website, DestinationBabykids.com. If it makes sense for you, you can buy the stroller directly from me. If you don't want to buy it from me, but you're inspired by us, you can always super thank us as well. So just whatever makes sense for you, feel free to do. But let's launch into the Defy R1 stroller. Okay, so this is a really awesome stroller. It's been available in different forms for a while now. So meaning that like this stroller has been at the show that I go to every year in some type of different formation for several years now, and I've been dying for it to come out. So I am thrilled that we're finally at a point where this is now available. All the kinks have been worked out. It's pretty frickin' sweet. So let's talk about the Defy R1. So as you can see, it is a smaller stroller. It's got the smaller tires, but one thing that is not small on this guy is going to be the sunshade. So it's an enormous sunshade, and you can see when we recline it, we still get a ton of sun coverage. So that's going to be great for kiddos sitting inside the stroller. Additionally, there is a vent here on the top of the canopy. So we love that. A lot of sun coverage and a lot of ventilation, which is quite nice. Something I will point out, I am showing mine with a cup holder on it right now. A cup holder would be sold separately. I can certainly take it off, but I'm gonna leave it on just because it's fun to look at. And I think the retail price of that cup holder is $25, so it's not very expensive. Now here's another thing to understand about this brand, Defy. The reason why they're called Defy is because they wanted to introduce a super awesome option that folds very, very small, that is an all-terrain, all-in-one stroller. So what I mean by all-in-one is that there is no additional purchase required whatsoever to use this with a newborn baby. It can go on all different types of terrain. It has a sturdy enough wheel. It has the 4-wheel hinge suspension on all tire sets. So your back tires and your front tires have suspension, which is fabulous. Your front tires are lockable. So if you did want to lock them for going through grass, sand, gravel, snow, you're going to be able to do that. And then you'll be able to swivel it back to normal. So it is a truly defiant product in that it's not enormous, it's not tiny, it has a nice generous basket, it's going to have all the bells and whistles that you need to be able to use it from birth, and the price point is the part about this that's so exciting. So when we're talking about this time of tariffs and everything going up in price to prices that are somewhat shocking, this stroller clocks in at $650 so far. They're not anticipating having to do an additional tariff price jump on it, but just even at its entry price point, this is very, very aggressive compared to other strollers in this type of category. So I'm in love with that. Yeah, so let's talk about some of the specs aside from just me sitting here talking about it and pushing it around slightly. So specs, where's my cheat sheet? Comes in 3 colors, black, cream, and gray. The black and the cream are going to have this beautiful matte black finish. If you go with the gunmetal gray kind of color, it has a shiny gray finish, which is very cool if you're into more of a shine and you don't want matte. It will come with a 2-year warranty. A rain shield is also included at that purchase price of $650. It does have a very unique type of suspension. So while you're pushing it, and this was noticeable for me when I put my weighted dolls in here, it has a low resistance ball bearing. So it means they call it like a true glide suspension, but it is a low friction ball bearing, which means that it is an incredibly smooth, easy push. So even if you're loading it up with 30 or 40 or 50 pounds in the seat, it will still push super easily. Now, something else that's very exciting about this, it is a one-handed fold, and it's a true one-handed height adjustment. So you can spin the handle, like rotate it forward and get the handle to raise to different heights. This height is ridiculous. This is 43.7 inches, so it does get quite tall. It has a shorter starting handle height too, I think of about 38.5. So it'll have 5 different handle heights between there. But what I love is that it doesn't have a pinch button to do that handle height adjustment, which means that if I want to push it with 2 hands, I'm going to be able to, no problem. But if I wanted to do a one-handed push and be holding like a coffee or a soda or my iPhone, I've got this spot in the center without any type of weird button or gadget or anything getting in my way of me being able to hold the dead center of the handle. So if that's something that matters to you, for some of my consumers, that is a make or break feature. It's just exciting that it offers that. Not a lot of strollers have a clear place to be able to put a single handle directly on the stroller handle. So I think that's a really nice feature that is offered with this stroller. As you can see, like I said, the canopy can be shorter. You can tuck the piece under. You can unzip it for more sun coverage, so that's really fabulous. And then this will also show you, I'm going to demonstrate how you can flip the seat around to be either caregiver facing or facing out toward the world. So how that works is there is a lever on the back of the seat. There are lines actually here on the frame of the seat as well as the seat frame itself, or like the frame of the stroller plus the seat frame. When those align, you'll be able to simply lift the seat up and flip it into the either direction. Now, this most reminds me, if we're gonna talk like older strollers from a million years ago, this is a lot like the Armadillo Flip, which was an incredible, awesome option from mamas and papas. And it also actually reminds me of the Bugaboo Bee, which, Bugaboo, why did you discontinue that? What an awesome stroller. It breaks my heart. I get it. People didn't understand it and they couldn't figure out how to fold it. This is not going to have that same problem set, but it does remind me of those strollers because those were true all-in-ones, which is definitely lacking in the market right now. And what I mean by all-in-one is that, excuse me, and we're going to demonstrate this right now. If you have a new baby, most strollers that you encounter will require you to buy either a bassinet, some type of pillow, or some type of car seat adapter to be able to use the stroller from birth. This stroller will work from birth. You just recline it to its flattest, and that is a flat enough recline to be able to accommodate a new baby coming home from the hospital. Why does this matter? Again, with tariffs and the prices of everything going up, maybe you're looking for one product to be able to do everything sort of from the start and not have to repurchase different types of items in order to make everything work together. Heck, maybe you're not even using an infant car seat, which I have another video on regarding tariffs, is very useful. If you want to check that out, go ahead. But if you wanted to start with a convertible car seat in lieu of an infant car seat with the Defy stroller, right out of the box, we're able to do that for $650, which is pretty dang unbelievable. Another really nice feature of the stroller is we're going to be able to fold it with the seat facing either direction. So frequently, with a lot of other brands, you'll have to remove the seat, turn it to be forward facing before you're going to be able to get the stroller to go down into its collapsed position. Here it is a one-handed fold and it's relatively simple. You're going to go ahead and lift the seat up, and then you're going to have the bottom of the seat come toward the seat back. It'll drop down. You always want, when you're collapsing the stroller, for the stroller seat to collapse down toward the back tires. So whether it's facing front or caregiver, we're always going to collapse it where it will hit rolling toward the back tire. Now, we'll go ahead and shorten the handle to its shortest. We'll get the handle to drop down. And then there is a handle in the basket that you'll pinch and lift. And now the stroller will come together. And there's actually 2 little like kickstand pieces for the front tires. And the stroller will stand when it's folded. So it is a super small fold. It weighs 28 pounds. So no, it's not super lightweight, and I fully understand that, but again, this is a go everywhere, do everything stroller. And to be perfectly frank, a huge portion of the weight of this product is actually in the seat, and we're gonna show you why in just a second, because there's some really awesome things about the seat. But in general, the frame is about 17.5 pounds, so if you were gonna do it with an infant car seat and that frame weight mattered to you, that is the weight of the frame. The seat's actually relatively heavy, and we're gonna show you why. So now to open it again, it's gonna be one-handed. You pick out the front tires. You go ahead and you have a lock on the side so you can pop the handle upright. And again, I'm doing this all right-handed. Then you'll squeeze your seat to make it sit up just like that. So now we're unfolded. And as I pointed out, seat folds in either direction, but it is more atypical for a stroller to fold with it caregiver facing. So definitely a really fabulous feature. Now, some other things that are coming out for this stroller that don't exist yet, they're gonna come out with like a cooler bag thing that'll go on the back, which is super cool. They do have a flip-flop or sandal-friendly brake. So I'm wearing sandals right now. I don't have to wreck my toes in order to get underneath there to make the stroller be off of the brake. Now, some other statistics. The backrest is 22 inches from back, like from the butt all the way to the top of the backrest. So it is quite a tall backrest. You also have a 24-inch canopy height clearance. So let's talk about that. I was mentioning there's some things about the seat that make it heavier to deal with. So let's show you what exactly I mean. I'm gonna bring the seat over to the camera because I'd like to demonstrate this piece on the back is magnetic. So we can pop that off, and we have access now to this panel on the back of the seat with two different sets of pinchers, okay? So it's really awesome, this top set of pinchers, and if I flip the seat around, this top set of pinchers correlates to the canopy height, or excuse me, not the canopy height, but the shoulder harness height raising and the backrest lowering. So that's what you're seeing there, and that's sort of like why those shoulder pieces are moving up and down. So that is all adjustable on the backrest. There isn't having to manually rethread, which at this price point, this is an unbelievable value that they would include this in the price point. Now here's the other thing that I can't even believe that they're including at the $650. You have an additional pincher here that's going to raise your canopy up to be taller. So now we'll have more canopy clearance because I was able to raise that piece up, or I can lower it down, let's say for a smaller fold, smaller kiddo, whatever I want, I have that option. So on the back of the seat, hyper adjustable compared to most brands. And then again, the magnetic component will just go right back on, covers it up, makes it look absolutely gorgeous. We'll get the fabric out of there. But it's just really neat and like a very clever design feature. So I'm happy to report that that is like so cool. Nice job with that, you guys. I will go ahead and turn the seat forward facing at this point, just to kind of go over the specs with you all. Whoops. We'll sit the seat upright. And now you can see it's reclined for a forward facing kiddo. And it can also be, of course, upright. There is 3-position recline in each mode. So that's a nice feature. 5 different handle height positions. Now, one thing that I thought was frustrating. The basket only holds 6.6 pounds. To be fair, I overloaded this basket the minute I got it. I put 20 pounds in it. I put 20 pounds in every basket that comes through the door, even of strollers that are like super garbage that I get for free. Just to test them. So I did put 20 pounds in the basket. It did not break. However, I would say it definitely pushes the most appropriately and calibrated correctly with weight when you follow the weight recommendations that they provide. So again, a basket should top out around 6.6 pounds, but if you wanted to overload it, as I said, I put up to 20 in it and it did not break. Again, don't quote me on that, but I did check it out for my viewing audience. Now, something else that's very cool. They sell this gorgeous diaper bag, sold separately. It's leatherette. And actually, to be honest, most diaper bags I hate because they're too big. They're physically outrageously ridiculous. Like, what are you bringing with you? Like 3 months worth of everything? Like, what are we doing with our life? Like, let's pack more appropriately and think about what we're doing before we run outside. So this is gonna be like a really nice size. They do make a much larger one that's a backpack style. I'm not into backpack style so much anymore. I like a messenger, but again, I'm an old lady, so maybe that's why. But this is very cool because it will hook directly onto the stroller frame. It sort of has like hooks already on the bag, the messenger part. It has an insulated pocket in it. There's 6 different pockets for the bag. So that's 180 bucks, and that just works beautifully with it, which is really sweet. Additionally, they sent me a stroller liner to kind of show you all. I think this is really awesome because as you see, the color that we have here is this gorgeous cream. Now, typically, I would be like, get the hell out of here with freaking cream stroller. Like, who would buy that? What a joke. But if you have a liner for the interior dimension, or excuse me, not dimension, but the interior portion of the seat, as you can see, is cream. But if I want this liner, which again is sold separately and super easy to use, it's removable, it's washable. The nice part here is if you get crumbs, like your kids are eating those puffs, which I hate just because they get crumbs on everything, and they don't taste that good. If you're ever stuck eating your kids' food, at least like Cheez-Its taste delicious, but you know, probably not the healthiest thing for kiddos. But as you can see, the liner here is all able to be put in directly to the stroller. It's all meant to work perfectly together. It has Velcro, so it just sits like absolutely correctly without having to reline the whole thing and take all the fabric out. But this would just be an additional way to keep your seat clean. We have a puzzle clip buckle, so we put the two pieces together, pop them in, very simple. And now, I would say having a cream stroller would be no big deal because my interior seat portion that's gonna get filthy is now black. If we do sunscreen or anything, ice cream, anything that could be drippy and gross, now our seat's fully covered for crumbs. We can take it out, shake it out, wash it, just a little bit easier. And the two-tone looks freaking rad. Like black and tan, classic, gorgeous. And again, as I pointed out, this will fold no matter what. We just want to make sure, I did it before. So put the seat up, have it drop down, drop the handle. And again, we'd make sure the basket is empty. So that's going to be one thing about this type of fold that might be different than some other strollers, but get the hell out of here. You should always have an empty basket when you fold your stroller. And then you just fold it up and it'll stand up so easily. So again, folds with the seat in either direction. So we definitely love that. Your opening, very simple. It does lock together in two spots. So that is something to be aware of for folding and unfolding. If you're looking for a stroller that doesn't lock, it's harder to find that, but they do exist. It is a nice feature, I feel, that it has multiple locks so that it just doesn't go flying all over the place, which is really nice. So again, if you've got a smaller trunk, I used to have a BMW 4 Series convertible. I miss that car every day of my life. But this would be sick because it would fit in the trunk of that, no problem. That trunk could hold several bodies, but just putting them in would be horrible because the opening is so poor, so it's like you'd have to dismember it. We don't want to have to do that either with our stroller and take every piece off to put it in the trunk. So really nice feature, again, won't go in the overhead, but is fully functional everyday stroller that can fit into the trunk or a smaller space, apartment, wherever you're going, it's going to fit nicely. So we love that. Let's talk about this. Our seat width is 11 inches. The depth of the seat is 11 inches. There is no leg extension on it, so that is a little unusual. However, I am going to do a series on strollers that are able to be used from birth. And to be fair, of the strollers that come out of the box able to be used from birth, out of the 4 that do it that I'm going to talk about, only 1 actually has like any type of meaningful heel strip. So this is something that's common in this type of stroller, which is really atypical. I'm not sure why. Our knee drop, though, from here down to this part, down to the plastic well, is 7.5 inches. Crotch belt depth is 3. Our handle heights range from 38.6 up to 43.7. The weight of the stroller, again, as I said, 28 pounds, so not super lightweight, but you will get used to it. The front opening for the basket is 7 inches. The back opening for the basket can come out and be as big as 9, which is pretty cool. It does have a zipper, so it gussets open, which is pretty neat. If you want it open or closed, you can make that decision. Again, newborn compatible, sandal friendly. It does have a one-handed fold. It doesn't have a heel stirrup, and the handle will touch the floor when it's folded. So sometimes for some people that is something that they want to know about, so I just wanted to make sure I touched on that. Additionally, as I pointed out, you would get the standard 2-year warranty. And then let's talk about the additional features. So like that liner I just put on was $45. The diaper bag I showed you was $180. There's a foot muff, which is so great if you live in a cold climate and want to do this sort of bassinet thing from birth. You could put the foot muff on and take that kiddo out for a nice walk in the fall or winter, provided it's not too horribly cold. You could also lock your tires if you're walking through snow or walking over anything icy. So again, very, very easy to make it like an all-terrain option. The diaper bag backpack is $260. The rain cover, there is one included, but if you wanted to purchase an additional one, it would be $40. And they're making a tray. It hasn't come out yet, but that will be $45 when it's ready. Cup holder, as we showed, was $25. They do make an additional 6 sunshade, which like goes over the whole thing for $30. Maybe we'll pull that out and show it. But I did want to make mention of the fact that they do offer car seat adapters if you want sold separately. So again, as I pointed out, this is a really great stroller if you want to use it from birth and like you, let's say, don't want to use a car seat initially. This guy would meet that need where you could use it without any type of car seat because it reclines deeply enough. However, if we did want to do a car seat on this product, you can buy adapters to make that reality happen. They are marked with white and green dots, which is really useful. That's a lot like UPPAbabies, so nice job, gang, for figuring that out. You want to turn them, and then when they lock in, they'll spin down to where you want to go. They distinctly say that they work with CLEC, so let's try a CLEC on there right now. This is important to me. CLEC is like the safest car seat pretty much available. So we want to always point out when a car seat like CLEC can fit directly onto a stroller, and they're proud to say that they have CLEC adapters. So I think that that's really cool. Again, your CLEC would have a one-hand squeeze release from the frame, so that's going to be really easy. Now again, it'll work with Nuna. These adapters do work with, let's say, like Pippa Air RX, which is what we see here. But when we take it off, we're going to need 2 hands instead of 1 hand with the CLEC. So the CLEC, again, we squeeze 1 hand and remove. Here we've got to press 2 buttons simultaneously and lift up. It's a little more work. It's a little more awkward. But again, not the end of the world, just differences. And to show you guys all at home what this would look like folded with a car seat adapter on it, just because that is, of course, always a thrill. We'll set it down like that. We'll grab our piece in the center of the basket, and we'll have our little wheels click in, and now we've got our little 17-pound frame just to take us wherever we need to go, and that's how we would satisfy the car seat component on here. Now, they don't sell a bassinet separately. Again, why would you need to? The seat reclines completely for a newborn. If you really want a bassinet, we can talk about bassinets in other videos. Go ahead and check that out. But if you are looking for a stroller that can parent face, can face out at the world, goes up to the 50 pounds, can do everything all one stroller with a tough enough tire to be able to handle everything, a serious suspension at a very, very cost-effective price point, especially right now in the middle of this terrible panic with tariffs and availability, this might be your winner. Again, $650, 3 colors, comes with the rain shield. You can buy whatever you want very cost effectively, and doesn't make you beholden to any specific car seat brand or specific car seat option. So now I'm gonna have to read the instructions on how to take these out. It shouldn't be difficult. I should have read it before I looked, but I saw how to put them in. I've got the instructions in the back on how to take it out. Okay. If you guys have questions or you have comments about the Defy stroller, please feel free to leave them below. Check out my other videos comparing it to other relevant strollers. Let me find my remote so I can go ahead and turn this video off when I'm ready. And if I can't, I'll just hit off on the top. But thank you guys so much for watching, and please be sure to check us out in our next video. Where'd that remote go? I don't know, we'll stop it manually. Thanks, guys.